Tonight I intended to give the big lifts, squats, deadlifts, overhead pressing, bench pressing a rest. Not so much because I was fatigued or injured, it's just that I felt my CNS was what was fatigued and not firing on all cylinders. And when I feel that way, I know it's time to pull back, because if you try and push through that, you can end up burning out. It usually happens very quickly. Your performance just plummets. You take days off. It takes ages to basically reset everything. So before that happens, it's good to just give it a break. Plus, the benefits is you take some load off your spine, let that sort of loosen up and just, yeah, recover a bit from constantly being under pressure. So I started the night with the cable triceps pushdowns and supersetted them with some face pulls. Now, I did the face pulls in different angles, and some, don't even look like face pulls because they're like chest height. I like to do all sorts of stuff with that. Some people are very specific on what they consider the right technique for face pulls, all that. But what I'll say is, as long as it feels right for you, you do you. Now, with the machines and cable work and that sort of stuff, I don't do that often. I used to when I was more into like sort of bodybuilding, but now I just use it for these sort of intermediate periods between the heavy lifting, when I need a break, or when I feel like there needs to be better sort of movement. If I feel a bit stiff, like in the shoulders, that I know it's best I do some face balls just to loosen them up, because you're always pushing most of the time overhead press, bench press, and everything gets dominant and imbalanced like on the front. So your front delts, chest, everything's just pulling you forward. So you need something to work the antagonist to sort of pull you back and straighten you as well. So there's a lot of good reasons to use cables and machines for that type of stuff. I like these alternating single arm kneeling cable rows. That was a mouthful to say, because they isolate my lats very well on each side. I really feel it like in the bottom sort of part of my lat, but it feels really good. It always feels better on my right side than my left. I think my left side just maybe isn't as developed, because the same weight just feels harder. There's some sort of imbalance going on there, but that's just it. Like, the body is absolutely just full of asymmetry everywhere. Look hard enough, you'll find it. It's there. But we just work with what we have, and where possible, we try and correct for those asymmetries. Here are some seated shoulder press. I don't do these too often. I don't particularly like how it feels sometimes for on my shoulders because it feels a bit like they're pushed a bit too far back, or even feels like I'm a bit too big for these machines. But yeah, I always adjust myself so it feels as comfortable as I can. And as per usual with these machines, yep, zero care factor on the reps and sets for these. Just take it as it comes, how it feels on the night. Did some seated cable rows. I do incorporate these time to time just to keep my upper, mid back, rear delts, shoulders all healthy, because I do a lot of overhead and like pushing exercises like bench press as well. So you kind of need to work the antagonist muscles for those. Not always work one side, because that'll create basically imbalances in your body. I don't really care too much about the weights, sets, reps for these. I do it all by feel, how I feel. And that seems to work well for me. For others, you might need a more structured approach, but uh, the take it as it comes approach, it works for me for these ones. As you can see from this chin up effort right here, I'm definitely well on my way to getting Navy SEAL ready. Um, yeah, but the truth is, I don't really practice this exercise. Plus, at my weight, 110 kg, it is rather hard. But you know what? It's a fantastic exercise. I love chin ups, pull ups, um, because they work the upper back, mid back, shoulders, upper arms, lower arms, grip, you name it, it works it. It's a pretty taxing exercise, and people have a tendency to get fatigued rather quick. I'm definitely in that group. But I did this not just to have a go, but also to stretch my back a bit from the loading it's had in the last couple of days from the squats, deadlifts, etc., just to stretch it out a bit. That's why I also did the Y grip hang there as well. Just let everything sort of stretch out. Because if you're always under load, it's probably not good for your spine to always be under load. It's good to let it basically loosen up a bit, readjust itself, and get ready for squats and deadlifts again. I didn't intend to actually do squats tonight. Thought I'd give my back a break, but I ended up, as you will see in the later on in the video, I did end up doing some. I didn't intend to squat tonight, but when I saw this just waiting there for me, this safety bar, I couldn't help it. I had to have a go just for fun. I have squatted with the safety bar before, and I actually forgot how it feels. It definitely feels much different to traditional bar. If anything, it kind of feels like a hybrid between a front squat and a Zercher squat. Just the way it loads the posterior chain just feels so strange and so different, but it still feels good, and I just had to have a go. I think I'm going to incorporate this into my squatting routine, because I really like the way it felt, and it must have some sort of benefits that are different to the traditional type of squatting. So I'll keep at it and see how it goes. It felt so awkward unracking. That's one of the main things, and re-racking. Just weird the way the weight is balanced on this bar. But yeah, definitely like it. Recommend anyone who's seen the safety bar to carefully have a go with it and see what you think.